Welcome back to TV47 Weekend. Keep talking to us. The hashtag to use is TV47 Pwani Studio. Send us a message on 22047. Today, as it was about us, so was it. And will it be forever about you, the viewer? A milestone that we celebrate with you, the viewer. And let's get to our discussion tonight. Our guest tonight in the studio is Kilifi North lawmaker Owen Baya, who joins us in the studio now. Mheshimiwa, good evening.
Good evening.
And thank you for making time for us.
Well, I'm glad I'm here to witness this milestone.
Yes.
And this is a very beautiful studio. And it's something that's really nice for the people of the coast region and also the coast region as a whole.
You talk of nice for the coastal counties.
Yes.
Was there ever a sense that the media was distant from the people here?
Yes, yes, you're very right to that. That the media has not really invested in the coastal counties, and that we were feeling left out in especially the mainstream media. What was here was basically FM radios and all that. But even these FM radios, we know, broadcast from Nairobi. I know several of them that broadcast in Nairobi, they want to say that they're here in Mombasa. But this is a significant milestone towards really opening up the coast region, to market its produce, to market its products in tourism and in agriculture and all the beautiful things that are here. And also to let the world know that there's something that happens here.
In the coast.
You know, if the story is told from elsewhere,
yes,
then it's a different story when it is told here. So we welcome you and we want to celebrate this and we'll continue to thank you.
Appreciated. And as the county's television, the counties matter. So do the individuals who live in those counties matter. Keep talking to us. Just a reminder that the hashtag we are using tonight is TV47 Pwani Studio. Mheshimiwa, let's get to this interview and away from the studio now. Last week, President Uhuru Kenyatta, an ODM leader, your party leader, Raila Odinga, received the official version of the BBI report first. In your own view, did the BBI report capture what you as coastal leaders presented unanimously as a document to the steering committee?
No, not at all. I would like to tell you that none of the issues that we presented here in Mombasa at the Mangina Drive were captured. None of them were captured. Not even those that we presented at the county level, because they came to Kilifi and there's a presentation made at Pwani University, and Kilifi made its proposal. But none of them were captured. We thought probably this validated report will give us that. But as it were today, none of those issues were captured. So we feel that the coastal issues have not been captured.
And just to be the specifics of the coastal issues, what are some of the issues you say were not captured? The steering committee says it listened to Kenyans, it listened to his views, went countrywide to collect those views, and those views were converged in a report. No. You see, the coastal issues are very unique. And you know, there's a uniqueness about the coast. The coast region, if you look at historically, joined the country called Kenya much later on, in 1963, when there was that agreement. You know, the coast was not a colony, it was a protectorate, and Kenya was a colony. Then these two things were joined together to form what's called Kenya right now. Now, because of that, there are certain specific issues that are specific to the people of coast, that matter to them, that have not been addressed in what you call the country Kenya and the subsequent governments that have been there. One of them is land, the issue of land. As a coast people, you know, when independence came, Highlands Kenya were bought. There's a loan that came and bought the land and gave it to the people who were in the highlands of Kenya. But what happened is at the coast, the protectorate, you know what happened? They signed an agreement and retained the portions of land with the original owners as they were, that had taken the lands from the local people. Now that remains a very significant problem for the people of the coast. So we thought that BBI would address that issue, that now henceforth they would probably nullify those titles and give the land to the people. There's another question on land, but on squatters. A lot of the people that live at the coast are squatters. Now, you've been in this country independence for almost 60 years now, but you see, you can't own a piece of land because you're a squatter. And we thought that the BBI will address that. Historical land injustices that are there right now, we were very sure that BBI would be the panacea for it. But all these things were left out. All right, we'll talk of the question of land in details. You talk of the coastal region, you talk of the country called Kenya. That is often a divide that the government has always wanted to come in and bridge. It seems as though mentally, at least to even the leaders like you, you feel neglected by the government of Kenya.
We don't just feel neglected, we feel rejected.
Is it a feeling you feel first? Let me not put it in your
Yes,
in your
it's
mouth.
a feeling that we have. It's a feeling that we have. We don't just feel neglected, we feel rejected. You know, because a country needs to bring in everybody, a government needs to bring in everybody to feel part of the country and to feel that, yeah, we are cohesively Kenyans. But you see, everything that happens in this country, you always see the coast people excluded as if they're not part of it.
Mheshimiwa, isn't that not a cry that devolution came to answer?
You know, devolution, if you look at devolution, what it is, devolution has always been 15%. 15%. When we voted in the new constitution, some of the things that we were looking at, and that's why the new constitution in 2010 was very important to the coast people, is because of the issue of, for example, the National Lands Commission, the issue of marginalization, that we will set up an equalization fund that would bring up those areas that have been historically, systematically rejected, what would you call it, marginalized for many years.
And
so we thought that would be...
And just for purpose of clarity, these are areas that are many in this country. It's not an exclusive problem to the people of coast.
No,
when you talk of marginalization.
You see, marginalization in Kenya was systematically at the coast. It only went into another part, the northeastern. And you also know the issues of the North Frontier District. The North Frontier District was initially more of Somali, and I think the Italians had more say there. Before now, Kenya was formed and became one country. So these two regions, the coast and northeastern, have had historical marginalization. Why? Because the people who have been running this government for many years have never seen them as part of Kenya. And therefore there has been a systematic marginalization. So we thought that the equalization fund in Article 204 of the Constitution would actually come and bridge that gap. But now we are almost doing 10 years of the Constitution, but that fund has never done anything.
But these are counties. You're talking of counties that receive billions of shillings year in, year out, and you're still talking of being marginalized.
Yes.
One would argue you are getting a fair share of the national cake, to be honest.
No, that's not true. You see,
that's what the maths show in terms of the billions.
15% of the national budget can never take away marginalization of over 40 years. It cannot. And therefore, you need to bring this, you need to put in more resources. But so people say, you know, these counties have come and therefore it will remove this. No. We want the 3 billion, the 3 trillion that still remains at the national level to come back here, because you give us 15%, then retain 3 trillion. You know, the 85%. And then this 85%, what you see, I'll tell you, Abu, is that when you come to the coast region, a lot of the projects that you see here that are being done are done by CDF. We haven't seen much of the national government resources. And the functions of the national government are still very big. National government still retains a budget in health, it still retains a budget in agriculture, it still retains a budget in trade, it still retains almost all the functions that the county governments have. They have continually taken away the resources and still kept them at the national level. And given only very few coins here.
And fair enough, you are making a point of the national government, and you have a right to do so. I'm talking of the county governments. Power is in the hands of elected individuals from these coastal regions. They are not foreigners. They're not new to the issues. Have they failed in solving those issues?
Now, there are two things to it. One, what we have at the county level, yes, we have governors and we have administrations that have failed. I want to say that very clear. They have failed to liberate the functions for which they were given. The functions of health, the functions of agriculture, they have not invested money wisely to help the people. But what about those functions that are national government functions? Who will bridge that gap? You know, so they are the things that national government should do, but they're also the things that county government has done.
Fair enough, point made. Let's talk let's get back to the question of land. You talk of systemic marginalization, the question of land being unanswered. But land has also been used as a very divisive tool in this country and in this region. You yourself last year said that this land belongs to the Mijikenda, which was wrong, is it? The land belongs to Kenyans if it's part of Kenya.
You see, God has a reason why he put communities where he put them. Okay, he has a reason for doing that.
Fair enough.
And that the community where they live, that is their heritage. Land is part of heritage. The coast people has part of the heritage as land. This is our heritage. It's not just land that we own. It's part of our heritage. It's what defines us. You know, the mountains define those people who are in the mountains. The oceans and the lowlands define the people who are here. So today,
but Mheshimiwa, for you to say that the land here
yes.
belongs to the Mijikenda,
yes.
it's not a progressive thought. The land, one would suppose, it is in Kenya, it belongs to Kenyans. Just the same way you would buy a piece of land, be it in Mandera or elsewhere.
Now, I want to tell you this. You see, if somebody comes here and buys land and owns that piece of land, so be it. And we welcome that person because he has made an investment. But you have not made any investment, but you come and own 1,000 acres of the coastal land. You know, I'll tell you, you have actually absolutely no right to it because you've come to take away a heritage of the people without any due process of consideration. You understand that? So what happens here, of course, is many people who have been here have come and taken away land, and what they're doing with it is they only speculate. At the end of the day, they sell it, make billions. Nairobi, and I'll tell you this for a fact, almost a quarter, no, almost a third of Nairobi has been built by wealth from the coast, where people come and take title deeds here, and when they take these title deeds, they go to banks, get billions of shillings, go build high-rise buildings in Nairobi, until when they're done, they come back, take another loan and do that. Why? Because land at the coast is very valuable. And therefore they can use the land by the ocean and all that to take loans and all that. But the people here remain very, very poor. And if you ask them, you ask one question, how many people here have title deeds? Not very many people can access title deeds. If they can't access title deeds, they cannot access loans. They cannot access development. Why? A lot of the people that develop wherever upcountry, they develop because they're able to access loans. The coast person cannot access a loan because where he lives is a squatter, or two, even if that land is still community land, he doesn't have a title to it. So we still remain in that corner of further marginalization as we continue progressively in this country.
But is it not the case then that as an argument is a contradiction to what the Constitution guarantees?
Yes.
As every Kenyan's having a right to property and ownership of land.
Yes. But you see, before you declare that, make sure that it's fair. You know, the playground is fair.
Fair in what sense?
Fair in the sense that everybody has an opportunity to own land, because ownership of land is by title. Yes. You can say this land is mine. If you have a title to it, you have a paper to it. But if government does not process titles for the local people, then there is no fair ownership. That statement cannot be said to be fair. So what I want to tell government is, look, what they do elsewhere, they should do here, so that the local people here can empower themselves using the land. Today, you know, a lot of the people who stay here cannot even put up a permanent structure even if of the money, because you do not know that someone else will come from Nairobi or elsewhere and come and say, you know, I have a title to this land. I have so many of my people who today are living in fear because someone else has come who has never been here in the coast. He doesn't even know where that land is, but he will come with a piece of paper and tell you, this is my land. You need now to get out of this land and leave it to me. And yet these people have been born here ancestrally. This is their land. And that's why Kenya, as it is, like I've said, there is a reason why God put people wherever they are.
But you are not in contrast opinion that any Kenyan can own legally a piece of land anywhere, so that we
legally can own legally a piece of land anywhere. Yes, I am. But there are many people who own land here illegally because they grabbed it. Because they came using powers that they had, they come in and take huge chunks of land. We have the big question of absentee landlords. You see, it was very unfair for Jomo Kenyatta then to accede to the fact that the Arabs who were here then could continue to own the land even after independence. So what is independence? Independence was, people fought for independence for 2-3 reasons. One, they wanted political freedom so that they can rule themselves and take care of themselves. Secondly, they wanted to own land. The Mau Mau was there because they wanted to liberate their land and have land, their own land. But when it comes to the coast, that's a different thing. We were given independence, given political freedom, but we were denied the freedom to own land.
Denied by who, so that we move from this question?
By the powers that were then, because they signed an agreement, I think with the Sultanate and all that, that they'll continue to honor the land titles of 1802. And therefore, you know, here in Coast, it is the only place where you come and see a land title that is as long as 2 feet.
Fair enough. We have exhaustively talked about the question of land. Let's get to the back and forth between you and your party.
Yes.
Your party suspended you as the deputy organizing secretary for what they termed as fiddling and being on the side of Tanga Tanga. First, Your reaction to that?
You know, a party can only have a problem with you if you now start expressing the objectives and with another party, you know. But I do not think in any way that Tanga Tanga is a party in this country. Two, the deputy president of this country is part of the presidency of this country. Why would I have a problem? Why would it be a problem if I visited the deputy president and took a photograph with him? And why would it be a problem if any other member of ODM went and had a meeting with Uhuru Kenyatta? You know, because that is the presidency. Now, if they would have a problem with me for doing that, then I would tell them that they're the first people who are dividing this country. That the presidency is not one. According to me and my thinking, is that the presidency is one. And if I visited the president, I can as well visit the deputy president. And therefore, it is a very unfair thinking and a very fair action to say that they want to suspend me as a... in fact, I got a clarification from the chairman. He said they didn't suspend you. They actually expelled you from NEC.
From the neck. Fair enough. So when the ODM Secretary General, Edwin Sifuna, says, and I quote, that you are now free to continue with your Tanga politics. First, you say Tanga is not a party, but it is a political affiliation that has been affiliated with the Deputy President and other allies of his. Will you continue with what the ODM Secretary General says as your Tanga politics?
I want to tell the ODM Secretary General, and I hope he hears this, I want to tell him that I have a passion and obligation to help my people get political freedom from the bondage that they are in right now. And my aim, and what I have been doing, is to ensure that come 2022, the Coast region will go into the next political regime in a party that belongs to the people of the Coast. And that's my mission. I don't care about Tanga Tanga. I don't care about ODM. What I care about right now
is the party you say your people will go to the elections of 2022.
I'm focusing on 2022 and how my people will go into that parliament on a party that will be able to champion the issues of the Coast. The issues of the Senate.
But that's what your party ODM has said. That is what Jubilee has said. That's what all other parties have said. This is the politics of rhetorics of a party coming to solve the problems of a region, isn't it?
No. You see, the Senate issues and the revenue bill they taught us a lot of things. They taught us that no one will ever speak for the people of the Coast apart from the people themselves. We saw the position that ODM took at Senate in terms of the votes and all that, meaning very clearly that they did not support a position to retain the money. They wanted the Coast region to lose the money. You understand? And therefore, we have learned from that. Now, having learned from that, once beaten, twice shy, we are going forward, looking at a solution. We want to solve our own problems because we have entrusted our issues with a party that we thought would stand by us as a region because we have been there for them as a region. But today, ODM has abandoned us. Our party leader has abandoned the Coast because now, you know, in Ghana, I happen to do a lot of literature in Ghana. In Ghana, they say that when you want to pick mangoes which are up there, okay, as you're raising your arm to pick new fresh mangoes, please make sure that whatever you have under your armpit does not fall down, because you're most likely to lose what you have in your under your armpit and also not be able to pick the mango up there. You understand? And that is what I think.
And when you say our party leader has neglected us as a region, the deputy party leader of ODM comes from this region. He's the governor of this county that we are live from now.
I want to tell you this. You see, party, I've been in ODM long enough to understand certain things. That the Supremo, you know, the Supremo of the party is the party leader. And not any other person can say anything. And this Supremo of the party can only take advice and thoughts from where he comes from. I have seen that. I have known it, you know, and therefore, Governor Ali Hassan Joho, yes, he's party leader. He's deputy party leader for the party. But there's reasons why he's deputy party leader. The reasons is because he can finance the party, you know. Secondly, he can actually get the votes for the party. But beyond that, I have not seen anything that is useful that comes from him for the region. We lost the port, you know. And he was there, his party leader, and we are in a handshake, you know. We have lost this town. This town, business-wise, is dead. But he's party leader of a very powerful party that is in cahoots now working with government. But we have lost. So what is it that Governor Ali Hassan Joho is doing for the people of the coast as a deputy party leader? I want him to show me anything tangible to say I fought for the coast region using my party.
Fair enough, and because of the interest of time, getting back to the Tanga politics, this came after you visited the residency, the official residence of the Deputy President in Karen, alongside an aspirant for the Msambweni constituency parliamentary seat, who is an independent candidate by the name Faisal Abdallah Bader. Your party, ODM, has field a candidate for that. Jubilee has abstained from that, citing that they will not participate. First, was that not defiance of your party stand?
You see, that's why sometimes I feel that I would like to express myself and say this. You see, ODM, in the previous by-elections that we have had, has always given the first right of refusal to the family of the deceased or the family of the person that is not there. Okay, we saw that when Senator Boy died, they gave the first right of refusal to the family, and therefore we got the current boy who is now senator. In Kajwang's time, when Kajwanga died, the first right of refusal was given to the family, and we produced another Kajwang. Okay, when Kelo Koth died, the family was given the first right of refusal, and we got another Okoth. When Nyenze died, the first right of refusal was given to Edith, and Edith became MP. Why was it difficult for the same thing to happen in Msambweni? Dory is not just a friend to me, he was family. Okay? Dory was not just a friend.
So you wanted someone from the family.
They should have been given the right of refusal, just like ODM has been doing throughout. Now, when you defy that, because this person now comes from the coast, and Dory seemed like, you know, he comes from a family that probably doesn't have a lot of political influence, and therefore you oppress a family of a dead person, you know, I felt very bad about it. And the family asked me, Owen, can you help this young man? You know, if these guys are refusing to listen to us as a family, then why don't you find another friend that was Dory's friend? And the other guy who was Dory's friend was the deputy president. And I went and introduced Faisal. I said, this is a young man who wants to have political ambition. If you ask him to run on your Jubilee ticket or anything else, please take him, do whatever you want to do.
You draw the equation of the party in previous occasions using the family, a member of the family or someone from that family as a replacement. The party, in reaction to that, and this is a side interview I had last week, says there's no constitutional obligation that binds the party to have someone replaced from a family by an election.
But you see, a party has what is written law. It has traditions. You know, traditions also sometimes forms part of a party's constitution. The United States, not the UK, does not have a constitution, a written constitution. It doesn't have a written constitution. They go by traditions and, you know, precedences. You know, so precedences, even in court of law today, a precedence becomes part of the law, becomes part of the traditions, it becomes part of the customs. So if you have set precedents, please continue with it. If you have a reason why you don't want to continue with it, tell us. But if you do things which, you know, you have set precedents, you have set traditions, then today you come and say, you know, these guys don't really matter, we can do whatever we want. You know, then we get this feeling that, you know, you want to continue to oppress the people of the coast.
One final question. You said that the BBI document did not capture what the leaders and the people of the coast had put forth as a proposal. And given that, most likely, as in the political spheres now, this document might be subjected to a referendum. Is that a direct no from you as a leader?
I'll tell you this. You see, this BBI will have two problems. It will not be about the content. It will not pass or fall on the basis of the content that it has. It might pass or fall on the basis of what it does not have. That is one. Okay, what it does not have. Then there's another aspect of it, the process. The process, those that feel excluded. Although BBI wants to bring inclusivity, but there are those that feel excluded. The coast people feel excluded from the BBI process. And therefore, they would have a different view of what it is. The third aspect of it is about the content that is contentious. Today, we are saying we are creating 70 seats that are based on population, the BBI. The constituencies here in Coast, probably only my constituency and probably Abdul Swamad's constituencies that have a lot of voters and therefore probably might qualify for that 70. But the rest of it will go back to those areas that have always wanted one man, 1 shilling, 1 vote. You know, it is another way of sneaking back the 1 man, 1 vote, 1 man, 1 shilling, 1 vote. It is actually coming back through these 70 constituencies or these 70 MPs. And you know what that means, Abu? It means that you can never take away or get a prime minister from any other region. Because if the prime minister will be from the party with the most populous members in the highest number of members in the National Assembly, it means that where these 70 seats will go, they will continue to produce the prime minister of this country. And
there's no singularity where the 70 will go to, just for purpose of clarity. These 70 will go through across the country. It's not as though one region will get exclusively on that.
Population. Let's go back to population. Kiambu has the highest population probably in this country right now. So if when it comes, for example, Ruiru, Roysambo, you know, I can even tell you the constituencies that are most likely to benefit, or the multiple, what they call multiple constituencies.
So as an answer to the question I asked, whether you will reject it or otherwise, would you make a second proposal to the steering committee?
If they gave us an opportunity to speak to them, but I have heard people saying, you know, is the final thing, you know, and people who I thought are Democrats, who believe in dialogue, who people who should be listening to other people's, they've told us that there's nothing else that we can do about this document. You know, it's final.
Fair enough.
But if we were to get an opportunity, if we get to an opportunity, that is an oppressive clause within and it will continue to marginalize other communities.
Fair enough. Point made, Mheshimiwa. Thank you once again for being the first guest on a 9 p.m. news time here on TV47's news studio in Mombasa County.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Keep talking to us. The hashtag to use is TV47 Pwani Studio. Send us a message on 22047. Nicholas says he's watching TV47. Nixon says, I'm loudly wondering why there is very little or no concern about the daily political gatherings that do not adhere to COVID-19 protocols by MOH. Well, keep talking to us. The conversation continues on social media. And that's where we'll have to part ways for now on behalf of the entire team that made this production possible. So as always, bye for now. Enjoy the rest of our programs.